Hey, we're here today to talk about learning to use artificial intelligence with Microsoft's Azure platform for free via their Microsoft Professional Program training course. If we haven't met before, I'm E.W. Hulbert, the Analytics Dude. And my site, The Analytics Dude, is dedicated to helping people learn the skills they need to find jobs in analytics, learn the techniques to become good, strong analysts, and learn how to convince people to take action based off of what the data is showing. So this is week 2 in my vlog series on my journey through the Microsoft Azure AI course via EDX. In week 1, I made a couple promises to you on things. I said I would start a Facebook group. That is linked below. I said that I would tell you how much this is all costing, because there's a free account, but it's a little confusing as to what it costs. They give you a $200 credit. So far, I've used $1.90 of that credit. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't really know what I spent that money on. It's not really clear to me. Once it gets to about 10 bucks, I'll probably start digging into that, but I promise you I'll keep you apprised of that. And I also said that I would tell you how long these things actually take. And so far now I'm halfway through the introductory course. So there are 10 courses. I am halfway through course 1, and I have devoted 4.8 hours to it. I'm tracking my hours there, and it says that the courses are 8 to 16 hours, so right now we're on pace for about 8 hours. I'm taking a little longer than I really needed to on this one because I was taking notes. Those notes and my activity tracker will be shared on the Facebook group. So you might be wondering how it's going so far, and actually pretty well, I think. I'm halfway through the first module, the first of 10, and the first module really is an introduction to AI. They talk about machine learning algorithms, they walk through the basic kinds, show how they work or how an example of them works, and then it shows how they actually connect to the AI platform environment, or the AI web app environment, so you could actually use these things in the real world. It's a Microsoft course, so of course it's related to Microsoft systems, so you can decide if you like that or not. But so far what I've seen is pretty interesting. The things I'll tell you so far is don't worry too much in the introduction about taking really strong notes. I'll share my notes. They may not be the easiest thing in the world to read, but they walk you through everything. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, what am I going to do on this lab? Because it will walk you through step by step what he's doing. So when you see him doing the examples of, the first example setting things up, or the second, the natural language processing example, don't worry about following the exact steps because they'll be step-by-step directions. That's literally what the first labs are. If you pay attention at all, you'll be able to answer the lab questions and get 100 on the exam afterwards. There's only 3 or 4 of them, and really they're pretty simple. So for me, the highlight so far has been the Lewis app. That is an acronym for something. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it has to do with Microsoft's natural language processing engine. And in the lab, you set up an experiment walking through that where you actually utilize the real thing. And if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk at all, like I do, he's convinced, and this makes sense to me, that voice is really the next big thing. Voice is growing now. Voice is a big deal right now. Things like Alexa. But he thinks that voice search, voice commands are really going to become commonplace, like almost like touchscreens, didn't really exist a whole heck of a lot, or weren't all that popular before the iPhone, or are now everywhere. They're in PCs, they're in laptops, and he thinks that voice is really the next frontier beyond that. So if you want to get into that, if you want to get ahead of the game, this seems like a pretty cool way to start. So to review, so far it's taking me about 4 hours to get halfway through the course, so 8 hours is probably a good estimate. I've taken longer than I really needed to do that because I broke it up some. I'm busy. I only can get about an hour at a time to do this. And so far things are pretty cool. It's all focused around Microsoft services, which is expected, but they seem to be pretty good. And their market potential is probably going to grow because of Microsoft's financial strengths, like I talked about in the first video. So join our Facebook group if you want to join in on the discussion, if you want to walk through this class with me, if you want to see my work as I share it. And just pay attention. We'll be back next week with our next update where, God willing, I'll have finished this introductory course and moved on to the next one. Thank you.